Let me start with something most people don't want to hear. If your life feels safe, quiet, and comfortable right now, you may already be in trouble. I didn't watch men ruin their lives through bad luck or sudden disaster. I watched them ruin their lives slowly through comfort, through ease, through the belief that they had already done enough. And if you're anxious about money, aging, or whether you wasted your best years, listen carefully. Because comfort never announces itself as danger. It waits until you are too tired to fight back, set up the pain and stakes. I lived long enough and watched enough men to recognize a pattern that never failed. It wasn't the poor who worried me. It wasn't even the reckless. It was the men who settled. They earned enough to stop pushing. They learned enough to stop studying. They built enough to stop improving. They told themselves they were being reasonable. They said they wanted peace. They convinced themselves that ambition was for the young. And then, quietly, something disappeared. Their urgency, their edge, their sense of direction. Years later, they would sit across from me, older, slower, uncertain, and say the same thing in different words. I don't know where the time went. If that sentence scares you, good. It should. Reframe and big promise. Here's what I learned over a lifetime of work, wealth, failure, and reflection. Comfort is not the reward of success. It is the beginning of decline. By the end of this video, you will understand why discomfort is essential, why ease is far more dangerous than hardship, and how to rebuild urgency even if you believe your best years are behind you. Lesson 1. Comfort destroys urgency. I learned early that urgency is everything. When I was young, I had no safety, no cushion, no backup plan, and that pressure sharpened me. It forced me to think clearly, act decisively, and move faster than men who were far more talented than I was. Later, I watched those same talented men slow down, not because they failed, but because they succeeded just enough. They bought better homes, shortened their days, softened their goals. Urgency faded, and when urgency fades, discipline follows it out the door. Practical takeaway. If nothing in your life feels urgent right now, you are coasting. Create a deadline, a responsibility, a challenge that makes delay painful again. Lesson 2. Comfort is addictive. Comfort is not a single decision. It's a habit. I watched men negotiate with themselves every year. I'll push again next year. I've earned a break. Why struggle when I'm doing fine? Fine is the most dangerous word in a man's vocabulary. Comfort rewards you immediately and punishes you later. By the time the consequences arrive, your strength has already left. I chose pressure intentionally. Not because I loved suffering, but because I understood something most men never learn. Ease weakens faster than hardship ever does. Practical takeaway. Introduce voluntary discomfort, hard work, hard conversations, hard goals. Comfort must be challenged regularly or it becomes permanent. Lesson 3. Peace without purpose is emptiness. Many men told me they wanted peace. What they actually wanted was relief. They wanted the absence of pressure without replacing it with meaning. I watched men retire early, slow down, and grow restless, not because they lacked money, but because they lacked direction. A man without purpose doesn't rest. He decays. I never retired from effort. I retired only from pursuits that no longer mattered. Practical takeaway, ask yourself this: what still demands something from me? If the answer is nothing, you've removed the very thing keeping you alive. Lesson 4. Comfort shrinks your world. When men chase comfort, their world gets smaller. They avoid risk. They avoid disagreement. They avoid learning. Their conversations repeat. Their routines harden. Their curiosity fades. I expanded my world by choosing responsibility over ease. Larger projects, larger problems, larger consequences. Growth requires friction. Without it, the mind dulls and the spirit weakens. Practical takeaway, place yourself where you are slightly outmatched. Growth only happens when effort is demanded. Lesson 5. Men confuse stability with security. Stability feels safe. Security is built. I watched men cling to predictable routines while the world moved forward without them. They avoided change to protect comfort and lost relevance instead. True security comes from adaptability, not stillness. Practical takeaway. Regularly ask, if everything changed tomorrow, could I adapt? If the answer is no, comfort has gone too far. Myth-busting segment. You've been told comfort is the goal. That's wrong. Comfort is a side effect, never the mission. You've been told slowing down is wisdom. That's wrong. Stopping growth is surrender. You've been told peace is the same as fulfillment. That's wrong. Fulfillment requires effort. Hard lives age better than easy ones. Simple framework. Checklist. Remember this framework. Demand, discomfort, direction, discipline, demand. Keep responsibilities that require effort, discomfort. Choose challenges before weakness chooses you. Direction. Know what your effort is for discipline. Act before comfort talks you out of it. If any one of these disappears, decline begins quietly. Let me end with this. I watched men ruin their lives, not through failure, but through ease. Comfort softened them. Time finished the job. If you are still breathing, you are still responsible for growth, for purpose, for direction. Comfort is not your friend. Pressure is. If you want more hard lessons without the sugarcoating, subscribe and don't miss the next one.